side, 50s west side. It's going to be a very good day. Have one, will you?
Channel 2 weather every hour is brought to you by Portland International Airport. Call 877-PDX-INFO for construction updates.
On World News Tonight this Monday, we're focused on Super Tuesday. The big question tomorrow, can John McCain exceed the expectations? An Indian tribe in Colombia threatens to commit mass suicide because of an American oil company. Can Al Gore make a difference? He doesn't want to talk about it. In Silicon Valley, homeless on $50,000 a year. And we'll visit another of the nation's schools in trouble. In this one, the weather is the issue, inside as well as out.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. This is a very big week in American politics. The primary season has never been quite like this. Tomorrow, from coast to coast, there'll be primaries and caucuses in 16 states, pretty close to a national primary. And the very much conventional wisdom tonight is that on the Republican side, it is make or break for John McCain, and to some extent, George W. Bush. For the Democrats, it's a lot closer to break than make for Bill Bradley. Now, no single day is absolutely critical in the final run-up to an election, but the last day can certainly be intense. We start in California, where ABC's Linda Douglas is with McCain.
John McCain's rhetoric is increasingly bitter as he tries to get voters to share his outrage over the big ad campaign being run against him by George Bush's supporters.
And we asked Governor Bush to tell his sleazy Texas buddies to stop these negative ads, take your money back to Texas where it belongs.
But it is not all about attacks. Today, McCain hit the high points of his evolving campaign message, the pledge to drive out the big money in politics.
We will give this government back to you and take it out of the hands of the special interests.
The claim that he is the most electable Republican.
I'm the only one that can beat Al Gore, and you know that.
Yet even as McCain rails at his enemies, he is still hoping that voters will see him as someone who's been an inspirational figure in the campaign.
Our crusade is about saying, come and serve and sacrifice and be ennobled. This is a call to duty.
Since his victory in Michigan 13 days ago, he has tried to find a way to win on Super Tuesday, spending parts of 10 days in California and New York, touching down in his stronghold of New England, ignoring Georgia in the South, where he is weak.
Well, I think we have the possibility of doing very, very well. There's no doubt that the tracking polls are moving our way. It depends on how far it gets.
In fact, most polls do not look good for McCain tomorrow. But he says that there is one truth about this campaign. It is that nothing has gone as expected. Linda Douglas, ABC News, Van Nuys, California.
This is Dean Reynolds. 24 hours before the most critical day of voting in his campaign, George W. Bush addressed his strengths and weaknesses.
I like what I hear, and I like what I see.
In San Diego this morning, the governor stressed public education and his desire to improve it. The campaign thinks education is his strongest issue, and today Bush's wife Laura helped out.
And I think that education is the single most important issue that faces our country.
Then this afternoon in Los Angeles, Bush spoke on the issue that has hurt him in this race and may well in the general election to come.
It's an honor to be here.
Addressing the center dedicated to Nazi hunter Simon Wiesenthal, Bush sought to dispel the notion his campaign curries favor with bigots.
Tolerance can never be assumed, and it always must be taught. We don't believe in tolerance in spite of our faith. We believe in tolerance because of our faith.
The bigotry charge is an indication of how tough the race with Senator McCain has been. But today, Bush said the challenge overall has been good for him and for their party.
But it's been good for me as a candidate. There's nothing more humbling than to lose a few elections.
Still, Bush is clearly hoping that tomorrow's results will end McCain's challenge. But just to be on the safe side, the Bush campaign, which once had a record amount of money on hand, is about to go back on the fundraising circuit, hoping to raise $5 to $10 million badly needed dollars by the end of April. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Los Angeles.
One other item about Governor Bush today, a woman who recorded a Bush campaign ad attacking John McCain on the subject of breast cancer research and who appeared with Mr. Bush last week said today she was sorry she had done it. Senator McCain's sister had breast cancer, and he says the ad is misleading about his record. Here in New York, which has the second largest number of delegates available to candidates, the contest between Mr. McCain and Mr. Bush is very tight, according to the polls. At issue, the so-called moderate Republicans. How many will vote? Since the polls show that many of them are likely to choose Mr. McCain. ABC's John Cochran reports it's an uphill battle for him.
It's close, it's hardball, and it's crucial.
I love New York, and we're going to take New York.
New York is John McCain's best and last shot at reviving his campaign.
John really must win New York, and they know that they have to stop him here.
They would be the Republican establishment, solidly behind George Bush, including Mayor Rudy Giuliani and Governor George Pataki, who accused McCain of consistently voting against New York. Everything from help for mass transit to relief for ice storm victims. McCain supporters say Republican officials have distorted his record.
This is really low politics. It's the slimiest I've seen in all my years in New York politics.
For McCain, it's been uphill from the start in New York. He had to file a lawsuit to get on the ballot statewide. And now even the ballot works against McCain. Only Republicans can vote. They will be choosing delegates to the party's national convention. And Bush's delegates are party regulars with the most familiar names.
These are the people you know as a Republican and you voted for time and time again. The McCain people are generally very unknown, large unknowns in their area.
To win, McCain must get big help from Catholics, who comprise half of the state's Republican voters. Columnist Jimmy Breslin, a Catholic, believes Bush's visit to Bob Jones University will hurt him here.
I mean, if you go to a place like that, he knew what he was doing. Come on. He went in there. He'd rather have the 6,000 in the audience, and he figured those people up north won't mind. Well, we don't come from a low IQ state.
But some Catholics say Bush has apologized for failing to defend Catholics in South Carolina, and that should be the end of it.
Well, McCain then tried to exploit the issue. And now when Bush apologized, I think most Catholics feel like, let's move on. We've had it with this issue.
No show runs forever. Even cats will soon close. And if McCain fails to squeak through in New York, his show could close here too. John Cochran, ABC News, New York.
On the Democratic side, Al Gore and Bill Bradley were both campaigning in New York today. Mr. Gore continues to ignore Mr. Bradley publicly. Mr. Bradley is not attacking Mr. Gore. A little later in the broadcast, incidentally, we'll take a closer look at allegations that Mr. Gore has betrayed the environmental cause that he claims to support. When we come back this evening, full-time workers sleeping where they can on Silicon Valley. And Michigan's oldest elementary school freezing on Mondays, sweltering on Fridays.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by GMC.
How much power do you really need? The Sierra Extended Cab has the most powerful standard engine of any truck in its class. Not because you need it now, but because one day you will. And being prepared for that day is what having a professional-grade truck is all about. The GMC Sierra, above and beyond.
Our eyes have natural moisturizers, tears. So we took ingredients found in natural tears, added more moisturizers than any leading drop, and put them in Visine Tears. For soothing relief, Visine Tears. It gets the dry out.
In my games, what I'm trying to create are these fantastic experiences that kind of go beyond the experiences of normal life. So what I was doing here was something I'd seen my father do on Skylab to create artificial gravity. Merrill Lynch has managed to allow me to fund my creative activities. John's listened to me as an investor. He's been able to understand my needs and engineer a plan to get me there. My next goal is to be able to buy a flight into space.
I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I'm proud of the results that I get from Scotts, and there will be no crabgrass.
Talk about a torture test. I took a leave to my 2-day walk for charity. With my bad back, I needed something that wouldn't let me down. Well, the leave kept me going all day. My heart went out to some of the other women. Are you okay? They took something else. A few hours later, they were hurting again, ready to quit. I gave them my leave, and they had a fighting chance.
Aleve can stop pain all day with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that.
Hey, Aleve. By the end of the walk, people were calling me, "Hey, Aleve," like it was my name. So thanks, Aleve.
On the money tonight, Alan Greenspan warned again today that the economy is growing too rapidly, with demand for goods and services set to exceed supply. The chairman of the Federal Reserve reiterated that interest rates will be headed significantly higher at his command if the economy doesn't slow down. On Wall Street, some investors did take heed of Mr. Greenspan's comments. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down more than 196 points to close at 10,170. On the NASDAQ, stocks were higher most of the day, flirting with the 5,000 mark, but finished down just under 9 points at 49.04. The Energy Department said today that people shouldn't get too excited about gas prices coming down anytime soon, even as the oil producers agree to increase production. The government says that gas prices, which already average $1.50 a gallon nationwide, could be $1.75 or $1.80 by summer, and that is for regular. One other item on the money, housing prices. They grew less than 4% nationwide last year, but all across the country, some homes are selling for at least twice their asking price. And then, of course, there's Silicon Valley, where people are getting rich more quickly than anywhere else in the country. You know what that does to housing costs. And for people without the money to afford housing, even if they make $50,000 a year, we'll show you now what that can mean. Here's ABC's Carol Simpson.
It's bedtime for 33-year-old Matthew McConnon. After a long day working as a concierge at a Silicon Valley hotel, he settles down to sleep in his car.
I would love to get off the streets and into a place, but I just can't afford it.
It's the same story on the number 22 bus, which runs through the heart of Silicon Valley. They call this Motel 22 because for some homeless people, it's a place to sleep. They can buy an all-day bus pass for $3 and ride up and down this 26-mile route all night long. Some of these dozing passengers have good jobs but no place to live. The emergency shelters are full. 3,000 people a night show up in need.
We're not dealing with career homeless people anymore. We're really dealing with homeless people with careers.
Half the people in this San Jose shelter actually have jobs. Robert Waters is a furniture mover. Angel Ortiz makes $14.50 an hour installing windows. And Tracy Ramirez, the single mother of two with a salary of $34,000 a year. Still not enough for housing in this area, where the median cost of a single-family house is $270,000. That's more than twice the national average of about $130,000. Things are no better for renters. The average one-bedroom apartment costs $1,650 a month. The situation is expected to get worse. In the mad scramble to provide new housing, developers are now building in the poorest community in Silicon Valley, East Palo Alto. Middle-class people are moving in, displacing the lower class.
When people want things, they just go after them any way they want it. So the poor have to leave.
They have to leave, but there's no place to go. Carol Simpson, ABC News, Santa Clara County, California.
In Burbank, California today, dozens of investigators are trying to figure out why a Southwest Airlines jet careened off the runway last night, crashing onto a busy street. They removed the plane with a crane and sent its black boxes to Baltimore for study. Several passengers said they thought the plane was going very fast when it landed. In Washington today, a Senate committee held a hearing about colon cancer. It is the second leading cause of death by cancer in the country, and yet more than half the population over 50 never have a screening test. Today, NBC's Katie Couric, who lost her husband to colon cancer, told the committee that awareness was a lifesaver.
Please help us make sure this disease is no longer ignored or whispered about. No one needs to die of embarrassment. Every person screened is a potential life saved.
The screening tests are covered by Medicare, but only 14% of Medicare recipients had the test last year. And when you catch it early, colon cancer is treatable. In Mozambique today, more than 1 million acres underwater. The space agency released these satellite photos. On the left is Mozambique before the flood. On the right is the country since, and more rain is expected tonight. The race is still to save the living. Tens of thousands of people crammed into dry areas now, facing disease, hunger, and a dwindling supply of clean water. In the Czech Republic today, Secretary of State Madeleine Albright was enjoying a warm reception in her homeland when she was suddenly met with a volley of eggs. The egg-hurling anarchists shouted death to American imperialism. Most of the eggs missed. In southern Lebanon today, the Hezbollah resistant fighters are claiming an historic victory. Victory because Israel says that by July, it is going to withdraw from that part of southern Lebanon it has occupied for the last 15 years. Hezbollah has been fighting the Israelis all these years, and more than 900 Israeli soldiers have been killed. Coming up, Al Gore, an Indian tribe in the Colombian rainforest, and a question of integrity.
Firm gave me a new Camry.
Better dust off the old resume, Bob.
It's a perk.
Well, if you didn't get a Buick Century, you peaked. The vultures are circling.
No.
Oh, yeah. Hop in there, Bobo. Yeah, unlike Camry, Accord, or Taurus, every Century comes with traction control, dual climate control, and four-wheel ABS standard.
Really?
Take the Century Challenge and get a Century 2000 Special Edition with a Millennium offer worth $1,500.
It's the CEO. What are you doing in my car?
I asked him the very same thing.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
Please welcome today's guest, Drew Carey.
Well, today I'm going to show everyone how to install DirecTV. Great! First, you take your drill, your wrench, your stud finder. This will come in handy, just in case.
Fantastic!
And chuck it out the window. Because now, not only do you get more movies and sports and stuff and digital quality picture and sound, but installation's free too. DirecTV, now with local channels. My work is done here.
My name's Bob.
Tim.
Karen.
I'm quitting smoking.
With Nicorette.
Nicorette gives me 2 ways to help control my cravings.
First, I help prevent them.
You see, I set myself up on a regular schedule. 6 pieces a day.
9.
12.
Do you know when you just get that craving anyway?
Doing my taxes.
Meeting my new daughter-in-law.
Blind date.
I take another piece.
To help take control.
And now, after smoking for 20 years,
I'm finally gonna make it.
I'm sticking with it.
I'm gonna do it.
You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Politicians are often accused of making decisions or taking positions to benefit a contributor to their campaign or an important constituent. And sometimes, which is worse, they're accused of taking or not taking a position because personal gain is involved. Tonight, Vice President Gore is in that uncomfortable position, and so we're going to take a closer look. In the West Coast edition of the New York Times today, there is a full-page political ad which says that Mr. Gore is very much on the wrong side of an argument between an oil company and an Indian tribe in Colombia. Here is ABC's Terry Moran.
Al Gore says he's the environmental candidate. He wrote a best-selling book on it, and it's a central part of his presidential campaign.
I will not let you down. I will fight with everything I've got to protect the environment here in New York, all through our country, and around our world.
But all along the campaign trail, Gore is greeted by demonstrators who say he has betrayed the environmental cause when it comes to protecting native people. The story begins in a remote region of Colombia, where the Uwa people have threatened to commit mass suicide if U.S.-based Occidental Petroleum goes forward with plans to drill for oil on what the tribe claims are its traditional lands. The Uwa oppose the drilling because they fear it will violate the rainforest, which they consider sacred. Last month, a violent confrontation between villagers and police led to at least 1 death. What has all this got to do with Al Gore? Money.
There's probably no company in America today that is as close personally and financially to the vice president than Occidental Petroleum.
After Gore's late father left the U.S. Senate, he was named to the board of Occidental. Financial records show the vice president is the executor of his father's estate, which holds as much as $500,000 worth of Occidental stock. That means Gore could ultimately benefit from the company's operations in Colombia. Plus, Occidental is a major Democratic Party donor, giving nearly $500,000 in soft money since 1992. To environmental activists, the vice president's duty is clear.
If he wants to be an environmental champion, he needs to make a statement on this issue, and he needs to take personal responsibility for his family fortune.
It sounds so simple. A multinational oil company, a threatened native people, a powerful politician. But there are other factors at work here that have put the vice president in a dilemma. First, as executor of his father's estate, Gore has legal responsibilities that could prevent him from simply dumping the Occidental stock. And the Clinton administration is supporting the Colombian government in its battle with guerrillas and drug dealers who control 40% of the country. Many foreign policy experts say developing the oil business as an alternative to drugs is crucial to Colombia's survival.
If they would stop oil exploration, which seems to be the goal of some of these indigenous leaders, I think that would just lead to more problems.
Vice President Gore refused several requests to speak with ABC News about the UWA and his family's holdings in Occidental.
$500,000 of your money in Occidental.
But as the demonstrators dog him and Occidental begins drilling in Colombia, Gore's public silence on the issue leaves him open to the charge that for all his speech-making on the environment, he won't put his money where his mouth is. Terry Moran, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In this presidential campaign this year, several major environmental organizations, including the Sierra Club, have not endorsed Mr. Gore, despite his claim to be the environmental candidate. When we come back, braving bad weather inside the classroom. One school in dire need of repair.
See near, see far, without glasses. The AccuView bifocal contact lens with pupil-intelligent design. Call 1-800-531-2121 for a free trial pair certificate or visit your eye care professional.
I see lots of people with allergies, but the ones with multi-symptom nasal allergies, they're suffering from it all. That annoying post-nasal drip, the sneezing, itchy, runny nose, the nasal congestion. For that kind of allergy, I prescribe multi-symptom Flonase.
Flonase nasal spray once a day relieves all nasal allergy symptoms, even post-nasal drip.
All it takes is Flonase.
The #1 prescribed nasal allergy spray. Even kids as young as 4 can use Flonase. For best results, use daily. If side effects occur, they are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, or sore throat. Call to learn more. Ask your doctor about multi-symptom Flonase.
When you get it all it takes is Flonase.
When dentures dream, they see the perfect denture cleanser. One with the stain-fighting power of Efferdent and the freshening power of Listerine. Well, little friend, dream no more. It's really here. It's called Efferdent Plus. It's extra fresh, and nothing gets your dentures cleaner. Efferdent Clean and Listerine Fresh. That's Efferdent Plus.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather one, gather all. Going to see something that will truly astonish you. A talking dog. This dog not only speaks right. Come on over. I'm going to show you something truly amazing. This is an alien space egg, ladies and gentlemen. You see the world's most amazing computer deal. That's right. It defies belief.
Computer deals that sound too good to be true usually are. But for $28 a month, you can get a Gateway Essential PC with a year of AOL included with the Intel Celeron processor from a company you can believe in. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I'm proud of the results that I get from Scotts, and there will be no crabgrass.
Just when you thought it was safe to leave your car in the parking lot, something evil will strike. You need a car tough enough to take it on. Chevy Malibu. With a steel safety cage, breakaway mirrors, a 6-layer paint process, and bounce-back bumpers. It's one tough car. Chevy Malibu. We'll be there.
If you can do this, you can make wood beautiful with Minwax. And if you can do this, you can give wood lasting protection. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
In one single moment, a family will be changed forever as they face a painful tragedy.
It's bad. It's really bad.
An all-new Once and Again tonight, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Coming up next on Channel 2 News, it's a law enforcement tool, but is it legal? The issue of photo radar goes to the Oregon Supreme Court. Plus, bridge repairs force thousands of commuters to find a new way home. I'm Steve Dunn. Local News is next.
Just a brief review of the main story, Super Tuesday. The big question tomorrow, can John McCain exceed the expectations? Very important day for the Arizona senator, with primaries and caucuses in 16 states. On the Democratic side, Bill Bradley is fighting for political survival. Finally, this evening, another of our occasional visits to one of the nation's public schools, which could certainly use help or at least publicity. We take you to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Were you to spend any time there, you would, at the very least, always want to have a coat. Here's ABC's Michelle Norris.
Cloudy, breezy, snow developing by the middle of the day.
Harsh weather is a fact of life in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But at Coit Elementary School, students must cope with the climate outside even when they're inside. It all depends upon the day of the week and the direction of the wind.
We never know, based on wind direction, where the cold spots will be, where the hot spots will be.
And neither do the children.
Normally on Mondays and Tuesdays in the mornings, it gets cold. The whole brain gets flooded, but students can't think well, they get hands free, shaking.
The problem boils down to this. 21st century students are inside a 19th century building, where the furnace is turned down on weekends to save costs and fired up again on Monday morning. Poor insulation only makes it worse. Teachers chart the rising mercury with thermometers in their classrooms.
In most buildings, checking your indoor temperature wouldn't even be interesting.
So on Mondays, kids are eating lunch in their coats. School workers are wearing gloves.
Let me go look for a sweatshirt for you.
And distributing extra clothes to kids who need to stay warm.
We know.
By Fridays, it's almost tropical.
You dress in layers, prepared to either put more on or take more off.
So who's to blame? In this case, at least part of the responsibility rests with local voters, 3/4 of whom have no school-age children. Although taxpayers say they are concerned about schools, they have repeatedly shot down bond measures that would provide extra funding. So the teachers and students at Coit make do.
We will do everything within our power to make this the most comfortable setting we possibly can under the constraints we're living with.
The district does have a model for renovation with a $10 million price tag, but it is at least $7 million short of that goal. So for now, the students must endure a classroom climate that goes from icebox to hothouse all in a week's time. Michelle Norris, ABC News.
That's our report on World News Tonight. Later on Nightline, a preview of the Super Tuesday primaries, and there'll be continuous coverage and analysis of the primary results at our website, abcnews.com, as well as here again tomorrow. I'm Peter Jennings. Hope you have a good evening and good night.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, a high school basketball game, a vicious elbow thrown. Now this boy is in jail for assault. Should what happens on the court lead to hard time behind bars? Tomorrow. And on World News Tonight, should marriage be strictly between a man and a woman? Will California vote to make sure of it? Watch World News Tonight.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from